Luke chapter 6, verse 37 says this. It says, "Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you for your word. We thank you for these words that Jesus has given us, reminding us that he is the judge of all. Not me, not us, but that is God Almighty, your job. We pray, God, as we look at this passage, often misunderstood passage, we pray, God, that you will give wisdom, that you will give understanding, that we might understand this, that it might come into our souls and pierce our souls and remind us of who you've called us to be, and Lord, who you have told us not to be. Help us to see, Lord. Open our spiritual ears, our spiritual eyes, even at this very moment. Lord, take away all distractions. Let me not be distracting this morning, but help us to only hear from heaven. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. So let me ask you a question here this morning. Let me start off with a question. Are you a fault finder? Do you enjoy finding fault? Jesus talks about judging here. He's really talking about, and he is rebuking, fault finding. Now, a fault finder is one who finds much to criticize or complain about. Basically, a criticizer. Synonyms for a fault finder are these: a nag, a critic, a grouch, a grumbler, a bellyachre. They are mean-spirited slanderers. And they always look for the worst in people instead of the best. One commentator calls fault finders spiritual vultures. And like the vultures of the air that live off of dead and rotting flesh, these sad individuals thrive on the mistakes and the sins of others. You know, they really fly across the landscape, keeping a close eye out for the failures of others. And then they swoop in for their daily feast. You always see what you're looking for. Send a botanist into the woods and he'll find beautiful, beautiful flowers and leaves and trees. Send a buzzard into the woods and he'll find a dead animal with maggots covering it. Why? Because that's what he's looking for. It is almost impossible to please some people. One of the best stories told at a missionary conference in Shanghai was of a man who said that he was afraid he was going to be of no use in the world because he had only one talent. "Oh, that needs not discourage you," said his pastor. "What is your talent?" "The talent of criticism." "Well, I advise you," said his pastor, "to do with it what the man of one talent did with his in the Bible." Criticism may be useful when mixed with other talents, but those whose only activity is to criticize the workers might as well be buried, talent and all. Bury yourself with your talent if your talent is criticism. Someone said that it takes no size to criticize. Now, whether we admit it or not, we all engage in judging from time to time. And I think few things grieve the Holy Spirit more than a critical, judgmental, fault-finding spirit. 3 things I want to share with you from this passage. First, this morning, I want you to see the rebuke against fault finding. I want you to see the rebuke or the reprimand against fault finding, against judging. So Luke 6:37, let's read that again. It says, "Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." There are few portions in the Bible that are so misinterpreted, misunderstood, and misapplied as this section of Scripture. Some say that a Christian should never, under any circumstances, judge anything. If Christians speak out against homosexuality, if they speak out against abortion or immorality or other sins, the world says, "Shame on you, you know better than that." Your Bible says, "Judge not." Listen, the things that God has already condemned have already been judged by Him. Christians are not judgmental about those things. God has already judged them. These verses are commanding us to never judge, then they contradict Scripture in many places. And we know that Scripture cannot contradict Scripture. Matthew 7:6 says this. It says, "Do not give dogs what is holy, and do not throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them underfoot and turn to attack you." So you have to make a judgment here. That's what Scripture's telling us. Matthew 7:6. Matthew 7:15. "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves." A judgment that we have to make. 1 Corinthians 2:15. "The spiritual person judges all things, but is himself to be judged by no one." 1 Corinthians 6:2. "Or do you not know that the saints will judge the world?" 1 Corinthians 6:3, "Do you not know that we are to judge angels? How much more than matters pertaining to this life?" Now the Lord Himself, of course, will judge the fallen angels, but we will have some rule in eternity over holy angels. We don't understand exactly what that means. 1 John 4:1 says, "Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone out into the world." We're to judge between true teachers and false teachers of the Word of God. We have to make a judgment there. So this is not telling Christians that we cannot judge at all. Jesus says here in Luke 6, "Judge not." It literally means, the Greek here means it puts the not first in the sentence. So it reads like this. It reads, "Not judge or stop judging." Jesus is saying here to stop doing what's already in progress. Stop condemning and stop criticizing others. In other words, Jesus condemns condemnation of others. You know, the intention of the fault finder is to be malicious toward others. What he says may be true, but he speaks without any desire to build up or to instill discernment. He only wants him to make himself look better, to look good, to enhance his own reputation, or to demean the person about whom he is speaking. So why? Why do people tend to judge and criticize others? Criticism of others boosts our own self-image. Pointing out someone else's failures and tearing them down seems to make us feel a little better about ourselves, at least in our own eyes. It adds to our pride and it adds to our self-image. Criticism of others is often enjoyable. There's a tendency in human nature to take pleasure in hearing and sharing bad news and in reveling in the shortcomings of those around us. Criticism of others makes us feel that our own lives are better than the person who has failed. Criticism of others is an outlet to hurt. It is an outlet to revenge. We think he or she, they hurt me, so I'll hurt them, by exposing their sins and their faults and their failures. So we blow things about others all out of proportion, even if what we're telling is true. We tell the truth in order to hurt others. Here's a guide to help guide our speech, a guide to guide us. First of all, ask yourself this: is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Will it encourage? And will it edify? Let me say that again. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Will it encourage? Will it edify? If not, then remain silent. If it won't do these things, these great things, being true and kind and necessary, encouraging and edifying, then don't speak at all. So first, we see the rebuke against fault finding. That should not be in the life of a believer according to Jesus. We should not be fault finders. Second, this morning, see the reasons against fault finding. See the reasons against fault finding. Now, only Luke and Matthew record this admonition from the Lord. But Matthew adds something that is familiar to all of us. Matthew 7, 1 through 5. Matthew 7, 1 through 5 says this: "Judge not, that you be not judged. For with the judgment you pronounce, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you see the speck that's in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when there is the log in your own eye? You hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye." I want you to notice here the why in verse 3 here in Matthew 7. Jesus is asking, what right do you have to judge your brother? Why are you judging him or her? So reasons against fault finding. First of all, we all fail God and sin. We all fail God and sin. 1 John 1, 8 through 10. 1 John 1, 8 through 10. "If we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say we have not sinned, we make him a liar and his word is not in us." We have all sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. In Matthew 7, did you notice the word log? Now, the word denotes a huge piece of wood, like a 2x4 or maybe a rafter in a house. Now, note also the word speck. The word denotes a small piece of sawdust. And what I want you to see here is that they're both made of the same substance. Both are wood. One is just larger than the other. Here's the problem. The one who is judging has the same sin in his life as the man that he is judging, but he's blind to his own sin, though the sin is greater in his own life. A self-righteous person looks at himself, even with his great sin, and still sees only goodness. An Old Testament example of the speck and the log is found in the life of King David. David was at the lowest point morally in his life. He took Uriah's wife and he committed adultery with her. When Bathsheba revealed to David that she was pregnant, David schemed to have Uriah murdered, thinking that he could hide his own sin and take Bathsheba for his own. Nathan the prophet found out what David did, and he confronted him by telling a story about a rich man who had flocks of sheep, who lived next door to a poor man. The poor man had only one little ewe lamb, and he loved this lamb like a daughter. But the rich man, not wanting to use one of his own sheep, went and took this poor man's little ewe lamb and slaughtered it to use it to feed his guest. David was furious. David's response was this: "The man deserves to die. He must repay everything fourfold." Nathan pointed a prophetic finger at David and he said, "You are the man." David had a log in his own eye that needed to be removed. Romans chapter 2, verse 1. Romans 2:1 says this, "Therefore you have no excuse, O man, every one of you who judges, for in passing judgment on another, you condemn yourself, because you, the judge, practice the very same things." Jesus wants us to get our focus off the weaknesses of others and consider our own faults first, for a reason. The purpose of self-judgment is to prepare us to serve others. If we do not get the log out of our own eye, we blind ourselves to ourselves and then cannot see clearly enough to help others. The judgmental person who looks at the tiny speck in someone else's eye must get close enough to peer into the other person's eye. That means that he's spending far too much time and attention looking at others and far too little considering his own life. Here's the sad thing. The person with the log in his own eye thinks he can see clearly enough to do the delicate work of helping to remove a speck from someone else's eye. It is only when we prayerfully and humbly ask the Holy Spirit to search our hearts and turn his divine gaze on us and expose our own sin that we began to notice the beam that has blinded our own sight. Do you regularly ask the Lord to expose your sin so that you might confess and repent of it? Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24 say this. It says, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any grievous way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." Do you catch what's being said here? It's talking to self, not everyone else. Don't search everyone else, find out what's wrong with them, and straighten it out. No, it's search me and straighten me out. What right do you have to judge your brother? So reasons against fault finding. First, we all fail God and we sin, so we have no right to judge our brother. Reasons against fault finding. Secondly, it seems we never have all the facts. Does it not seem that we never have all the facts? We judge on the basis of what we see. But the problem is we can't see everything and we don't know everything. Before the X-ray machine, doctors made decisions based only on what they could see and what they could touch outwardly. And they made many mistakes because of that. You and I cannot see the heart or the motive of a person, and what we may seem to see is not always the true facts. We've all jumped to hasty conclusions about someone, others, only to find out later that we were dead wrong in our judgment. In 1 Samuel chapter 1, Eli saw Hannah. He saw this woman in the temple. And her eyes, they were wet, and her lips, they are moving, but no sound was coming out of her lips. Eli said, "How long will you be drunk? Put away your wine." She said, "I'm not drunk, but a woman of sorrow. I want a child so badly." Eli judged wrongly because he didn't have all the facts. In Acts chapter 2, we find the account of the day of Pentecost. Those people were supposedly drunk. And Peter said this. He said, "No, they are filled with the Holy Spirit." When we judge without all the facts, it can do such harm. One of the stories told by that beloved Texas pastor, Dr. George W. Truett, was that of a young lady who was brought before the church for discipline because of a violation of the church covenant. It was suggested that she be dropped from the roll of the church. As the debate developed, the pastor said this, "Let us also call the church treasurer and have him read the record of the giving of every member, and let us vote to drop everyone who has violated God's law against covetousness." That bombshell cleared the air of accusers, as did the reminder of Jesus. He that's without sin, cast the first stone at her. You be careful. Be careful before you open your mouth. You never know what the end result will be. Injury is done to the person that's judged. If you're going to judge, you need to begin with yourself. The attitude of a fault finder is this: faults in others I can see, but praise the Lord, there's none in me. So first, we saw the rebuke against fault finding. That shouldn't happen in the life of a believer. Second, we saw the reasons against fault finding. We all fail God and we sin, and we never have all the facts. So thirdly, this morning, I want you to see the reaping of fault finders. I want you to see the reaping of fault finders. Luke 6:37. Let me read that again. Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Our Lord here reminds us of a cardinal truth in Scripture. We reap what we sow, and what measure we meet, it shall be measured to us again. The warning is that if we judge in the wrong manner, that we will be judged in the same way by the same standard. The question here is, who will be doing the judging? I think the passive voice here is probably referring to divine judgment rather than human judgment, though it is obvious that it will happen on the human level as well. The reason I believe that this is true is that the overall theme of Luke chapter 6 is dealing with judgment. So the question that each of us has to face in light of this passage is this: am I willing to be judged by the same standard that I judge others? Let me say that again. Am I willing to be judged by the same standard that I judge others? If I question another's behavior, is my behavior exemplary and approved by God? We cannot ignore how God will deal with us if we improperly judge others. Psalm 18:25 and 26 speaks to this. It says, with the merciful you show yourself merciful. With the blameless man you show yourself blameless. With the purified you show yourself pure. And with the crooked you make yourself seem torturous. I want you to notice verse 26 again. With the crooked you make yourself seem torturous. God will permit us to reap what we have sown. We set the standard and the tone for our final judgment by our judgmental conduct in this life. If we judge others harshly, we condemn ourselves by the very standards that we have set. Let me remind you that this verse also teaches that when we are kind, when we are patient, when we are fair with others, we'll reap that same kind of treatment. If we sow blessing, we will reap blessing. Judge not, and you'll not be judged. Fault finding should not be the way of the believer. We all fail God and sin. We don't always know all the facts. And if we engage in fault finding, we will reap the consequences. Judge not, and you will not be judged. For those that might be here this morning that are not in Christ Jesus, you're judged already by a holy God. And a holy God has judged you. You don't measure up. Nobody measures up. But as an unbeliever, if Christ is not in your heart, then you do not measure up to God's standards. So our prayer this morning is that you will flee to Christ Jesus, that you will believe on Him, that you'll believe that He lived that perfect life that you couldn't live because you're imperfect just like me, that He died on a cross for your sins and my sins. He took our sins and took the wrath, the punishment for our sins, that He was resurrected, that He is King, that He is Lord, He is Master. And our prayer is that He is King, Lord, and Master in your life. Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we thank You for Your word. We thank you for the way that it pierces our hearts. I can't imagine anyone being here this morning and this message not piercing into their heart. It has mine over and over as I have went through this and went through it and went through it. Lord, help us. We struggle with this, Lord. There's not a person on this planet that doesn't struggle with this. And we as believers, Lord, we are called not to be fault finders, but so often we are. Lord, forgive us. We repent of that sin of judging, of fault finding. We ask you to help us to be the people of God that you've called us to be. We pray for that one or two or however many that don't know Christ as their Lord and Savior. We pray that they will believe today. Today is the day of salvation. We thank you, Father, for your holy work. We praise you in Jesus' name. Amen. Praise team.